Hey, everybody. My name is Steve Simon, and I'm very excited to have the opportunity to speak with Edmond across the pond about our upcoming London workshop. Edmond, how are you doing, and how is London doing?
I'm fine, Steve. Good to see everyone. I'm Edmond Terakopian, as Steve mentioned, based in London. London's fine. It's beautiful, kind of springy, summery day already. So the weather's definitely looking up on blue skies and so on. So yeah, London's getting out of hibernation. So it's a good time to walk around camera in hand and explore.
Fantastic. Edmond, I've been a fan of your work for a very long time. And I know that, aside from the assignment work you do, both commercial and photojournalistic, you're a street photographer. I mean, you're a passionate photographer. I mean, we love photography. Where do you like to wander with your camera when no one's paying you to do so? What places do you like to go, and how do you do it?
Yeah, it's as you said, street photography is a big passion of mine. I've always got a camera with me, always, and an iPhone or an Android phone doesn't count. I have to have a proper camera with me. And London's very happening. You could go from the suburbs right to the middle of London, and there's a lot going on. For me, as a photojournalist, also as in other genres of photography that I do, street photography pays dividends all over, because it makes me observe, it makes me look for things, it makes me look for moments and interactions and juxtapositions. It makes me search out the light, looking for light and shadow and how they work together. And it makes me physically sharp as well, being able to react quickly as you see a moment about to happen, and make sure you nail the focus and your timing spot on. So in all of these ways, street photography keeps me sharp. And it's also a very interesting way to document daily life. I mean, it's history that we're photographing. A picture that we take today, 50, 60 years from now, becomes of historical value as well. So at the moment, it's aesthetic. In the future, it's historical. So yeah, street photography is a very big passion of mine. How about you, Steve? What's your sort of mental?
Just like you, Edmond. I mean, I always have a camera with me, but that being said, when I'm out shooting, I really flip a switch, and it's kind of a different place. I mean, I feel that I really kind of need to be in the moment when I'm wandering with my camera, looking for stuff. And I think, in so many ways, it's such a blessing to sort of have found this passion for photography, and specifically kind of the documentary-based street and photojournalistic photography, because it means you're kind of wandering with eyes wide open. And it's a different kind of pursuit when I'm out with my camera, looking for a lot of the things that you just described, the juxtapositions, looking for potential. In my experience, and I'm sure for you too, Edmond, it's all about finding a place that has visual potential and then being patient. Because even though I'm not really a patient person in real life, I know that patience pays off in photography. And I think, for our workshop, when we go to a place, one of the pieces of advice and suggestions I give people is to, find a place that's got some potential and spend more time in fewer places, but choose those places that have a lot going on. And in London, I mean, there's going to be so many places that have so much going on that I really just can't wait to get out there. Where if you had to sort of choose one place, would you sort of wander? Do you have sort of a favorite place where you've ended up with some images that you like? And you can see a few of Edmond's images on the listing, but of course you can go to his website to see more of his work.
Yeah, I think given the choice, I tend to gravitate towards the South Bank, which is by the River Thames, kind of near Westminster, but across the river. And it's that South Bank stretch, because there's so much going on there. There's just people watching. You'll see so much. And also the light is generally fantastic, especially late afternoon, early evening. You get beautiful light, you get wonderful people. There's a lot of hustle and bustle, a lot of sort of buskers and dancers and arty types. And also you've got the architecture as well. So, it's sort of bits of travel photography, bits of daily life, street photography, all kinds of things going on. And on top of all of that, there's a skate park there. So there's a lot of skateboarders doing crazy stuff that's usually very photogenic. And then kind of walking up the Thames, going further east, you know, you can sort of go all the way down to sort of Tower Bridge area, down to the Tate and so on. You know, there's just lots and lots of stuff around Bankside and the Tate and all that region.
Yeah, I mean,
but equally, sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to say, I mean, there's almost too much going on there. And, you know, before we started recording, we talked a little bit about the idea of sort of focusing our attention. And I know you, as per our conversation, and myself, it's all about sort of creating a set of pictures. And, you know, during the workshop, we're going to have the London umbrella. But of course, if we want to drill down a little and focus on an aspect of London that we personally find to be interesting, and I'm always encouraging people, you know, the more personal you make it, the more universal it becomes. And it's what you see that's going to separate you from all the other photographers. So, you know, we'll talk in our lecture before the workshop about, you know, how to best prepare for this, and maybe come up with some ideas as to kind of how we focus our energy in London. And, you know, while we're there, we're going to critique. And honestly, it's such a great opportunity. You know, we're both going to be there. We're only there for you guys. And we want to see you sort of learn stuff. And I think workshops are not a competition. They're about taking chances and trying new things and learning from each other. And, you know, I think, Edmond, you know, one of the selfish takeaways I get as being a photo educator is I learned so much from all the students and what they're doing and how they're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I have this sort of mantra that we never stop learning. You know, anyone who thinks they've conquered photography is fooling themselves. I was reading an interview with Elliot Erwitt from Magnum Photos, and this is a few years ago, and I think he was in his early 80s at the time the interview was done, and he said he learned something new every day. And this is a master photographer, and, you know, for the rest of us, of course, it's even more true. You know, this is something that I find very enjoyable, because there's no kind of finite end. You're always exploring, you're always seeing, you're always coming up with new situations and a new aesthetic and new compositions. And of course, as we age, we develop our aesthetic, and that becomes more sophisticated and deeper and layered and so on. So yeah, it's always a great journey. And the best thing about this kind of workshop is that when you immerse yourself for 6 or 7 days, wow, you sort of take your level up several notches, because you're not thinking about day-to-day this and that, and, you know, a little bit of time for photography, but you're actually jumping full on. Yeah. Immersing yourself in photography. And you know, both of us have been photographers for a long time now, you know, worked for many clients and so on. So we want to bring our wisdom and experience, and, you know, we want to learn something along the way as well. And because it's all about life, you know, we're observing life through a viewfinder.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, oftentimes in the sort of post-workshop Zoom meeting, which has become sort of the new norm for these workshops, and you look back at kind of what was happening during the week, I definitely oftentimes see a big sort of positive jump in the work of people by being able to sort of immerse themselves in a shooting situation like this, with so many things going on, and knowing what they came in with. You know, we have the little intro portfolio, and then seeing what they've accomplished during the week, I think can be very exciting. It's very exciting for me, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what we're all going to do in London. And then lastly, it's going to be great. We're hoping to maybe add in a visit or two to some of the many sort of gallery/museum options of what's happening photographically in London. And we're going to eat. And, you know, why does, you know, London has gotten a bad rap in the past, but now it's a culinary capital. So, I mean, Edmond, you've eaten before, I think, and you know the landscape. We're going to find a few places to sample some of the cuisine. I'm a bit of a curry fan. I understand that there's some good options for that.
There's one or two curry restaurants. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, London was terrible for food, but that was 25, 30 years ago. There was a point in time, roughly about 6, 7 years ago, where London had more Michelin star restaurants than France.
Wow.
That's, it's astonishing. So yeah, there's that whole scene has changed. There's a lot of great restaurants. There's a big cafe culture, which again didn't exist, maybe 30 years ago. So yeah, lots going on. Lots going on to taste and enjoy, but also to observe, because when you've got sort of bars and people sitting around outside, there's life, there's interactions, there's moments. It's great photography.
Yeah, there are a couple of great images that we posted on the listing that you had taken that were sort of pub related. But Edmond, let's just leave it for now, just because we're going to make this relatively short teaser for the listing here. But we're very much looking forward that we still have space available, so we hope that people will take advantage before it fills up. And we look forward to welcoming everybody in person. We've spent too much time in this past couple of years on the screen, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It's I'm getting tired of seeing people in this kind of monitor state. So
although I have to admit, when I touch up my appearance, I like what I see a little better than reality. But let's leave it for now. We'll meet and greet you guys, in London proper, and check out the listing. If you have any questions, just email us. Just follow the link to email and ask any questions. And we'll see you all in London.
Look forward to it.